All right, guys. So welcome back to the channel. I'm here with Coach Sam, who was here in Malta. We're currently in Malta, by the way, because we had a 1 week quote unquote immersion with our students, where we spent one entire week in a villa learning languages as fast as possible. And this is why I'm currently with Sam. So Sam, how are you doing, bro?
Doing great, man. Really happy to be here, being able to share a little bit about our experiences together here in Malta. And I can't wait to start, man. Let's go.
Awesome. Man, I just wanted to first off, before we start, like, how did we meet? Because how we met is pretty random, and we've been working together for like what, like
More than 2 years now,
more than
right?
two
I
years, more
think.
than 2 years.
Yeah.
So how did we meet, bro? Tell the audience.
So it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's so random. Like, I started this Instagram page, right? Like I was sharing content about languages. I didn't know what I was doing. Just posting stuff, just recording my journey, learning languages. I've always been fascinated by them. Started really young. So what I did was just posting videos. Like I think I was learning, bro. I don't remember. I think I was learning probably like Italian. I don't know, or German at that point, something like that, right? Like maybe three languages ago.
Three languages.
Three or four languages ago, bro.
Yeah, that's a funny one. Three languages ago.
3 or 4 languages ago, I was there in that situation, and I just posted content. And I think Luke just like saw my content, and I think he sent a message or he commented. I
I
don't
approached.
remember.
I approached you.
I think you approached me, bro. Like you just said something, yo, awesome, man, something like this, and then we just connected it. Like
Crazy.
from there we just started talking. Like he also had a language, like a school. Well, no, sorry. I think he had he was making language content. I think English at that point, working with English.
I think I didn't even have the. I think I didn't. I'm not sure, man, but I think I hadn't started the liberal thing.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but or maybe I had, but I had like one student or something.
Mm.
It was like, as you said, like language content, but not really like liberal English. I wasn't really sure, like you, right? I didn't really. I was like, bro, love languages. Let's post about languages, right? But didn't really know what to. All right, interesting, interesting. Yeah, and so we met. Well, we met online on Instagram, and then we did a language exchange or something, or we not really, right? A couple of, like, I think we had a couple of
Like,
goals and
yeah, calls first, then live streams. I think we
live
booked a
stream.
live stream. Like we did. I think we did more than one live stream. I think. I'm not sure,
Yeah, most
but I
probably,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah,
And we talked about languages on Instagram
yeah.
because I was also going live a lot. I remember that when I started, I was going live a lot,
Mm.
and that's like we. It was really nice, by the way. Like it's crazy, like how young you were, and already like how much knowledge and passion you already had, for the thing. Like you could see from the content. It's insane.
Yeah, I was 20 years old, man, and you were 23,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We're so young, bro. We're getting old. We're getting old because it was my birthday 2 days ago, so it's getting tough. Cool. And man, so can you also give a little bit of background about yourself, like where you were born, how many language do you speak, which ones? Because now you need to, when you speak so many languages, you need to, you're like, oh fuck, I forgot one, right? So maybe can you give a bit of background, and then I think it's also cool to explain the reason why we're here and what we did and what we're doing and our projects. But first off, if you can just give a bit of a background about who you are and
Yeah, of course.
like,
Of course, man. So my name is Samuel Vieira Brandão. I like that he used my full name. I'm from São Gonçalo. It's a city in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It's the same city as Vinicius Junior, the Real
damn.
Madrid player.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Bro, we played in like literally we played in my place I played, he played too. Like it's crazy because he came from the same area as us, from the hood, bro. So it's crazy. And I speak 9 languages. Like Luke said, it's really difficult sometimes. You know what I do actually? Because I used to forget like the language. Some forget one or another to mention. So what I do is I have kind of a script. So I had to memorize the order of them so I don't forget them.
Really?
I
Yeah,
swear.
that's crazy.
I swear, because if you go fast, it's hard to remember
100%.
on the spot. So like I just create. I always say them by order. This way I don't forget to mention them. It's crazy. But yeah, I speak 9 languages. I speak Portuguese, English, Spanish, French, Italian, German, Serbian, Russian, and Chinese.
Yeah, it's true. I
Right?
remember you said it in the same. Yeah, you
Bro.
start with your native, Do you like strongest to weakest? That's the
Exactly.
okay. Yeah.
Exactly. Strongest to weakest. I honestly took me a long time to say like I speak Chinese because
Mm.
Chinese like is my weakest one. But I've been learning it for 2 years now, and I can say I can have conversations in Chinese if I see like someone from China. We can have an interaction more than just like hi, how are you? You know, because for me this is not speaking the language, bro. If you just say hi, how are you? Like what the hell? I know how to say this in like 20.
Yeah.
If this is considered, bro, like I'm like a hyper ultra mega polyglot, bro. Like,
100%. Yeah.
it's
In that case, I speak Albanian. You know, just no. Do you remember the bar? Because we went to the barber yesterday, or did we? Yesterday or
yeah.
two? Yeah. And I know one word in Albanian, which is mirdita. I don't even know if it means good morning, hi, whatever. I just know this word, right? And it's actually cool because you can connect with people with like small words, right? It's pretty awesome.
100%. Like
Just because you know one word, you can, right?
100%. Like I think, especially like if it's not a mainstream language, right? Especially if like I don't know, like Thai, for
Mm.
example. I don't know, like Urdu, something like that. Some like super random. If you're able to like say a few sentences. By the way, when I said that saying hi, how are you doesn't mean you speak the language. I don't mean that in the sense of like you shouldn't learn. I think you should, man. But for me, that's my definition of like speaking the language. At least I don't speak Chinese fluently, but I say I speak it because I can hold a conversation. You know, even if it's like I made mistakes, I'll make mistakes, but I mean I can hold a conversation. I speak the language. You know,
And you've never been to China.
never, bro. Never.
That's the interesting part. I think, well, most of our students that are gonna watch this video, they know. They're like, of course, it's logic. Like he learned online. But for maybe those who are watching and that have never watched a video about language learning, how come, bro? Like because it's not normal. A lot of people still don't believe this. Like, oh, he has never been to China and he's able to have Chinese conversations. How do you approach this, and what's the method?
Great question. I think it's a great question because we, in the polyglot community, we really think it's obvious. Like, because you hang around these people, like, honestly, you see people speaking real like 15 languages, 20.
Yeah.
And so it's really strange. There's a community called Hypea, it's the Hyper Polyglot International Association. In that thing, bro, you see so many crazy people. I mean, in a good way. Like, they speak like, bro, you can think about the most, like, even a tribe language, bro. There's gonna be someone speaking that there. It's
Yeah.
insane. So you see that, and you think, like, for me, I look at that and I think, okay, like, it's normal. Like, it's my, right? My how can I say, my environment, right? It's where I'm surrounded by people like that. But as you said, for many people watching, it's not. And I think, like, the most important thing, and this was not me who came up with that. You know about this method, about Stephen Krashen, about
The goat.
Catolom, the goat, Catolom, Luca Lampariello, Richard Simcott, all these guys actually, they believe in like content consumption. Because like language acquisition, I think people underestimate that. Really, like you can learn so much by just like watching stuff and listening to stuff. It's incredible. If you do it right, like if you listen to the right content, if you're learning new words, if you're doing it consistently, right? I honestly, and if you're speaking, of course, because you need to use what you learn. Honestly, I think like the rest is like a secondary, really, because like the rest is just like stuff that you learn with time. You know, if you have a coach, I think this process will be much smoother for you. That's why I also have a Chinese coach, by the way.
Yeah.
So I think you can like advance. It's gonna take a long. If you go alone, it takes a long time, man. I think especially if you're not a polyglot, like if you're not someone who is used to learning languages. But I feel like the process is like about immersion. Like that's what we are here for, by the way, right? We had an immersion here with the students. They advanced so much in 1 week. Like it's insane to come like some of them who couldn't even like hold a conversation, bro, to like giving a speech at the end, like improvised speech. It's insane. Bro, I'm gonna pass the word to you because
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
but
ahead.
bro, honestly, like it's so amazing how like they could do that, and it's amazing what immersion can do. Like just like listening to the language, like something you said that's super important is that like people think that they go to the immersion just to speak, and they're gonna learn just by speaking. And there, like we've seen, bro, that is not the case. Like they are learning actually more by listening and shadowing.
Crazy, damn.
More, bro.
Wow.
Because they're learning more, because they only know what they know. If you speak, you're gonna practice pronunciation, you're gonna practice your ability to communicate, sure. But when you listen, when you watch other people do it, especially coaches who are doing it already with the intentionally using the words that they need. So like, or using the correct vocabulary that they need. Like they learn more by listening, and I think they learn so much. It's insane.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. I remember this is a sentence I learned when I was like 12 years old in college. I couldn't agree more. You know, it's like the sentence you learn in English by heart. But no, Brent, like 100%. And I wanted to bounce back on a couple of things you said because, so the first thing I love is that like you speak 9 languages and learning your 10th or your 9th, I don't know, like Chinese, you said that you have a Chinese coach. And a lot of people a lot of people would think, oh, but because now he knows the method, he's not going to take a coach and he can do it himself. But you're not doing it because you know that by taking someone, a coach or a teacher or whatever, even if it's your 13th, 14th, 15th languages, you're still going to take a coach because you know it helps you. It's not because you don't know the method. It's not because you're just humble and you're like, bro, I need someone that is going to hold me accountable. I need someone that is going to push me to learn more, to not give up and all that stuff. Because even us, sometimes we're not motivated. Like your language, like what people consider goat or alien or whatever, but you still sometimes you're not motivated. You don't want to do it. You are tired, you're exhausted, whatever. So this is a pretty cool. And the second thing is, as you said, I remember when I was learning Portuguese, dude, I think the first 6 weeks, I didn't speak a word. Well, the phone is actually vibrating like I don't know what's going on. Is it mine? All right, guys. So we're not going to cut it. It's fine. It was actually to wish me happy birthday. So it was very important. This is why I stopped the video, guys. Anyway, I thought it was, it's true. Like when Simon calls like 2 times, when someone calls 2, 3 times, you're like, it must be urgent.
It is.
So it was urgent. It was for my birthday. So back to the point. Yeah, I was saying when I was learning Portuguese, I remember the first 6 weeks, I didn't speak at all. I just made my video, because when I start a language, I always like record myself with like saying everything I know about the language. And I remember this video lasted like 6 seconds because I didn't know anything about Portuguese. And then for 6 weeks, I just spent my entire days listening. And again, I didn't binge watch content. I was like actively, I think we're going to talk about it later because a lot of people are just listening to content and hoping it's going to come and, it doesn't make any sense. You're going to learn actively. We're going to talk about it later. And I remember my first class, I took it like after 6 or 7 weeks and I was able to speak. And I remember the teacher told me, oh, so when did you start? For how long have you been learning Portuguese? I was like, oh, it's my first class. Bro, her face was like, ¿Qué? No. No acredito, no. She was like so shocked because she couldn't believe that it was my first class. She was like, how did you learn? Tell me. She wanted to know more about my method. She was like, how did you learn? And then I explained her what I was doing. But I think that's very interesting. And as you said, like we learn so much by listening. And I forced myself to not speak too early, right? What about you? What do you think about this? Same for Chinese, for Arabic, for all those things.
100%, man. I think the thing is, there are different people. I think people like you said you force yourself to listen first, so then you can speak. Some people wait too long to start speaking. It's not your case. Your case is that like you want to start 0. Like I don't know anything. I'm gonna start speaking without even like consuming anything. So that's like, so you have to hold back a little bit. You have to like contain yourself, to restrain yourself. But people, you're usually different. I think in general, what I hear the most is like people who wait too long to start speaking, right? But like you said, I think like listening is so important for me as my method. Like for Chinese, what I did is what I like to do when I start a language, especially if it's a language that I have no other like languages that can help me like understand it. Because if you have some languages which are related, when you that you know, you can use them like to understand, right? With Chinese, I didn't really have anything. So what I do with these languages, I like watching most common vocab, like checking the most common words, the most common sentences, some pronouns, a little bit of grammar, but mostly like sentences, like expressions you use every day. And I watch a video, literally, like I was watching videos on YouTube. I did this for Serbian too, by the way. Watching videos and like just repeating. So I watch like, I don't know, like learn how to say, my name is Wo Chao. And I was like, Wo Chao. And I repeat, Wo Chao. And like just imitation. I didn't even know what were tones. I didn't know anything, bro. I knew zero about this. I just repeated. And I think that's like the key. I think simplifying stuff, like, because we naturally learn like this, right? When we were babies, we learned languages by like listening to our parents and trying to imitate them, doing shadowing. And we didn't know what the hell that was, bro.
100%.
And like we did it. You did it with your native language. Everyone did this. And then like, I don't know, for some reason, we think that we can't do it again. Like people think like, oh no, but I'm an adult now. When I was a baby, like, no, bro. Actually, it's better now if you think about it.
100%.
Now you know what are words. You know a little bit of grammar from your native language, so you know, like the sentence construction. So actually, I think that like we sometimes like ignore that. Like bro, like you already learned a language, bro.
Damn, yeah, that's crazy because as you said, like, and you learn, a lot of people, as you said, they think it's gonna take longer, but as a baby, it literally took you 5 years to be like, I'd say 4 to 5 years, right? But this is the reason why we don't go to school before, I guess, because we can't understand instructions, so we can't go to school. Like a lot of kids, they usually go 1 year after because they're not good in their daily life. They're not good enough to understand instructions yet, so they delay the school thing. And man, I don't know why I thought about this, but I remember, we don't learn how to write, we don't learn how to read until the age of like 4 or 5, most of the kids, right? And I remember because like literally 3 days ago, I did a conference a Sunday at the Villa of the Immersion, just when you guys left. And you know what's funny? Because I spoke a bit of Arabic. I always do like a sort of freestyle of my languages to show people, hey, this is what I did. Like literally improvised. I just talk about anything in all my languages. And I started to speak Arabic. And I just said like a couple of things. And then a guy started to write in Arabic in the chat. And he said, oh, if you speak Arabic, read my message because we're live. So I want to know if you really speak Arabic. And I was like, in front of like 300, 400 people, right? I was like, dude, I don't understand. I can't read. She was like, oh. I was like, man, I can't read your language. I don't want to be rude to Arabic people, but I don't care about learning the tones, the characters, that. Can you read Chinese?
No.
You can't, right? We don't really care about this. And I see a lot of people learning like also like Korean or Chinese or Arabic, or it can be like Russian. Well, Russian is a bit different. It's slightly like it's not that different than, well, still actually it is. So I see so many people spending so much time doing those things, but it's actually useless, especially in the beginning. Like, of course, long term you might do it, but right in the beginning you don't have to, right?
100%. It's a good segue, I think, because I was thinking about this before this podcast. I was thinking about the fact that people learn useless stuff. Like, I'm not just grammar. You mentioned the alphabet, and that's perfect. Like, if you just want to learn how to speak the language and understand the language, why the hell would you learn the characters? But again, guys, like, this is not we're saying that you shouldn't learn it. No, but it's like, unless you want to read, like if you want to read, then like that's your goal, like to be able to comprehend text in Chinese, then you have to learn it. But if your goal is to speak, even like, I think, even if in the future you want to learn how to read, I think the normal, most like, I think, efficient method is to learn how to understand and speak first. Then you can like, because it's gonna be easier too for you to read. So, but anyways, people learn a lot of about vocabulary. People learn a lot of useless things. And that's my biggest problem with like traditional methods, traditional like old school language schools. Because like they teach you stuff that you're never going to use. A lot of that is there, bro. Like maybe you don't need to learn how to say toothbrush. Like maybe you don't, maybe you do, but I'm saying like there's some things that are there that you're never going to use, you know? So I think that you have to learn the stuff that's most common in the language first. I really truly believe in that. Like, you must learn the most used vocabulary.
Yep.
Because if you learn, we repeat the same things. We don't say new stuff. I always tell my clients that,
I told them yesterday. Someone asked me.
bro, it's the same.
Yeah.
Never changes. Like the problem is people, like we as humans, we want to change. No, it's too easy. Like, no, I'm gonna add something here. But guys, actually, it's always the same. Like in your native language, when you speak, it's you say the same things over and over.
Yeah, exactly.
Even depending on the person, and one person will say more it this way, but you have a pattern, right? So you kind of have to just figure out the words you use the most, and you're gonna use them in this language, you know? Like basically that's it if you want to be able to communicate and understand.
And master pronunciation of those words. And I wanted to bounce back as well. I love this word, bounce back. I think I said it like 5 times. You know, I always give this example. What do you think? I always take Spanish, and I also did it with Arabic in the 11 hours video. I'm going to put the link in the description, guys. It's awesome. Go watch it. It's in French though, but put the subtitles, whatever. For me, it's the best example of useless vocab. It's like in Spanish, you have buenos días, buenas tardes, y buenas noches. All right. But if you know hola, you're good.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, do you really have to learn buenas tardes? Because buenos días, it's between 8 a.m. and noon. Buenas tardes, it's between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. And buenas noches, it's between, let's say, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So, yes, if you really want to be right, you need to, at 2 p.m., you need to say buenas tardes. But if you say hola, 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 it's fine. People are not going to be like, oh, he didn't say buenas tardes. He's wrong, right? Do you agree to this? Like, I think you're so right, because even at the immersion, oh, God damn it. Even at the immersion, we had students coming up to us, right? I think it happened to you. Like, hey, how do you say XYZ word in English, such a specific word about the kitchen or something in the kitchen, or how do you call this? You know, like you're like, I don't know. I never use this word, and you shouldn't learn this word. Why do you want to learn this word? Right? It's so crazy how people are just. I think it's some sort of like, I don't know how to call this, but it's like this. Oh, I learned 2 words today. And it's like, I think it's biased because your brain thinks you learn, but you're not, right? And it's almost this thing of like, oh, yesterday I spent 2 hours on this app, or yesterday I made 10 quiz, or yesterday I was, you know, and you're not learning. Your brain thinks and your ego thinks, you know, man, I think I found the word. It's ego wording. Ego lifting, ego wording. This is the new word. This is the new concept of this. It's ego wording. Well, I don't know if there's a concept for this, but what do you think about this, man?
No,
Do you
100%.
agree? Yeah.
Like, yeah, 100%, man. It's crazy. Like, or keeping a streak. You know, like, just like do one quick lesson. I'm not gonna name any apps, but 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 honestly, again, guys, I'm not trying to trash or personally attack like anybody or any app. I think even like I'll go extra and say that, bro. Honestly, if you do something, it's better than nothing. Anything you do to learn new words, anything you do to advance, language, please do it like this, please. But there are more efficient ways to do these things, and you can combine them, right? I think also like combining different approaches can be nice. For example, if you have an app that you use to do lessons, do that and like maybe get what you learn, make your own notes, and record yourself speaking. Then it's like useful, or like talk to someone about it. But if you just do this thing and you expect like results, bro, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, I just think that we need to also like simplify, and I think consistency, like it's just regularity, is just more important than like whatever. Because if you learn new words every day, like useful for you, if you like listen every day, if you're getting content like consumption, like the baby thing we talked about, right? And if you're speaking, if you're trying to imitate, doing shadowing and trying to form your own sentences, you're good, bro.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like
100%.
it's gonna happen. Like we said, depending on the method, it's gonna be faster. I remember something now that I mentioned traditional methods, and that I don't like how they teach. They pick a category and they just teach you words about this category, and a lot of them, like sometimes 99% of them, you're not even gonna use.
100%.
But you know what's crazy? There is I mentioned Richard Simcott, legendary hyper polyglot, the guy who's like been doing this for years, like same time as Luca Lampariello. These two are legends, living legends.
Shout out, guys. Shout
Yeah,
out to you.
shout out.
If you one day watch this video, shout out to you. We love you. Thanks.
Thank you
Steve.
so much.
Yeah.
Really. Richard Simcott loves like traditional like school thing. Like he loves going to a class.
Damn.
It's so different, bro.
Really?
Bro, he said that.
What?
He said that he likes going like, I like going to like a place and like getting on some formal.
All right.
It's cool. But you know, like you said, it's not that he doesn't know, like the coach thing.
Mm,
He completely learned languages like using the language acquisition, everything. But maybe like he just likes to be in this environment where people are around and there's a lesson and everything. What he does after that is different, I think. What he does after that, what he does outside of his lessons is
Got
what sets him apart, I think.
Got it.
But he likes going there, you know, he just likes going.
Makes sense.
That's the thing. Just like being in their environment. It's for
Yep.
him, like it's special for him. I think it's interesting because I think he's unique in that. Because I think most, I would say, I haven't met a single person who likes going to classes, like formal classes, if they are polyglots, hyper polyglots. He's the first one, and it's incredible because we are different.
Yeah, and I think to some extent it gives you a structure. It gives you like a, you know, like a sort of frame, a cadre, as we say in French. It's like, all right, you go there from 9 to 12, and you just sit there, and you have no choice, right? So it sort of maybe gives you like this like discipline of like, hey, you gotta be here from 9 to 12, because at the end, if you learn on your own, you rely on your self-discipline, right? But man, I wanted to also bounce back on this once again, about this traditional method. You know, when I started to learn Arabic and I did it was in January or February, I don't remember. So again, there is an 11 hours long video on YouTube about, I literally show everything from zero to have my first conversation. And man, you know, it's crazy because this is the only part we cut in the video. So the whole concept was like, I start from zero. I know nothing. I just knew salam alaikum, or, you know, like the small words that everybody knows, like shukran, or, you know, I mean, not everybody, but you get it. And I started from zero. I was just consuming content for like 7-8 hours straight. We see it on the video. And then at the end, I had a conversation. So we went to the restaurants in Dubai, and I was having a conversation. It was pretty tough in person with a waiter after like only 10 hours of learning. And then I found a teacher online, and we made a video together for 30 minutes. And the goal was like me to speak, right? But here's the catch, man. The first teacher, I really like, you know, took time to find a teacher and stuff. And so I took this teacher, and dude, for 30 minutes, I didn't speak. She just like explained me words. As soon as I tried to speak, she spoke 90% of the time. So we had to cut this. And at the end, I'm not kidding, bro. Like, for real. At the end of the lesson, I wouldn't say my testosterone level, but my dopamine was like to the floor. My whole, like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, I was like, I wouldn't say depressed, but I was like so sad. I was like, damn, I didn't learn nothing. I was tired. I was exhausted. Even though it was like only 30 minutes, I just wasn't in the mood for learning Arabic anymore. I was like, damn, she didn't allow me to speak. I felt frustrated. And I was like, you know what? Let me try. Like, literally 2 minutes after, I told the filmmaker, man, let's find another one. So I took another teacher. And this one, man, she just, even though I had really the most basic Arabic vocabulary, she allowed me to speak. Again, it's too early to speak within 24 hours. In my opinion, it's too early. For maybe some people it's not, but for me it's too early. Really, you should let your brain absorb the language as much as possible before speaking way too early. I wouldn't recommend this to, especially if it's your first or second language. But In that case, she allowed me to speak. I made like crazy mistakes. I told her, don't correct me. Don't correct me. Don't stop me all the time and make mistakes because I'm gonna make mistakes. And she gave me the feedback at the end. And I, after this conversation, I felt so good, man. Like my testosterone went up. I really felt like, I just was like, whoa, damn. Even though it was like not as good as I thought, but still, man. You know the difference between this traditional method and I think it gives you dopamine. It gives you, I felt it inside me, like for real, man. The difference is crazy. What do you think?
100%. Like, I think this is key. Also, a lot of the times you made me think about something. It's like a lot of the times we think it's quite the opposite. We feel like, oh, we don't know anything. Like, oh, like my English is bad, or I don't know how to say this, how to say that. And actually, like, you know more than you think. It's incredible. If you decide, like now, if you just make the decision to just like, okay, like from now on, I'm gonna like stop like saying this kind of stuff first. That like I suck, my level is not good, and say like, and be open to the possibility that I can understand if I try,
Mm,
bro. Even if you don't, like really, but if you are open, bro,
mm,
that's the thing. If you, it's not even giving up the other option. It's like, but you are limiting yourself when you say like, I don't really get fast speech, for example. Okay, let's say, and it might be true. That's the thing, but like that's too strong to say that. It's not that you don't get it. Maybe you just haven't practiced it enough. So you need to approach it in a different way, like being open to the possibility. Like I can guess a lot of stuff, and my level is good. I will understand a good chunk. Like I know stuff, and I can understand this part. What I don't understand, I will just like try to guess, but I'll be open to the possibility that I can get it. Just like you did with Arabic, bro. If you didn't, like what you did is crazy for a lot of people. They're gonna say, "Oh, 24 hours. Oh my god,
yeah.
insane." But just because like you were open, like, what if, bro?
Hey,
If I just go there and I just like try to speak this thing,
100%.
what's gonna happen? What's the worst that could happen, bro? Like,
Exactly. And deep down when I started, I knew I was going to make it. I mean, again, the video is online, guys. You can literally see me speaking Arabic for 30 minutes. It's online, it's there, there's no cut, but I knew I was gonna make it because I knew I had the right method, right? And I think maybe we can talk about this. For me, there is like, A1, A2, B1, B2. For me, this is bullshit. I think, in my opinion, there are 3 stages in languages. For me, the first one is you don't understand and you don't speak. Pretty easy. You don't understand, you don't speak. Like nothing. The second stage is you understand, but you don't speak. So this is where most people are. They understand a bit. Like when they go to the restaurant or they listen to conversation, they listen to a bit of YouTube, they understand, but they don't speak. And the third stage is you understand and you speak. And for me, man, you need to do different things based on those stages. Do you agree to this? Because for me, it's like pretty simple. Like a lot of people are like, oh, my level is B1, B2, but it doesn't mean anything. Do you understand? This is what I ask all the time, black people. Where are you at? Do you understand? Yes. Do you speak? No, I struggle. All right, you're in the second one. Do you understand and you speak? All right, you're in the third one. And here, in my opinion, we can talk about it if you want. Like, if you don't understand and you don't speak, what do you need to do? Like, so for you guys watching, if you're in the first stage, so you don't understand and you don't speak at all, we're gonna give you tips and actions to take right now. All right, take notes. Let's go. Let's do it. So what should they do? Like they don't understand, they don't speak at all any language. What should they do?
I'm gonna tell them what I do,
Mhm.
like how I start. So before I mentioned, I talked a little bit about like I learned most used words. I think in the beginning, everyone like should have their. They don't have to do the same thing, exact same thing as me, like watching a YouTube video with sentences and repeat them. But they should find some way to learn most common words, because when you know zero, you need to learn the survival ones, the survival vocabulary that you need. And I say survival vocabulary is not the book one, because on the book you're gonna see like, I don't know, some kind of crazy stuff with nouns that you don't need. So a lot of the times I see these books and they're crazy. So when I say survival vocabulary, is like being able to introduce yourself, right? Understand like basic small talk, asking like question words that are important and necessary, right? And how to reply to them, right? I think the rest It's like you get with time, like the past. You're not gonna learn this like fast. It's gonna take some time. But I really do think that like this survival vocabulary, being able to introduce yourself, question words, answers, most used verbs, these things you should like start with that. If you like reading, go on, I don't know, on the AI and look for that. If you're into like watching, me, I'm an auditory learner, so like I listen. So for me, it has to be like I have to listen to stuff. So I go on YouTube and I watch a video, or I listen to a podcast and I learn these most used words, vocabulary, verbs, like words. That's how you should start, because if you don't understand anything, like you need those first, because they are gonna repeat itself like all the time. I was talking about, we use the same vocabulary. So if you like, once you start with that, then you can start like trying to use them, because the thing is, you don't understand and you don't speak. So first, to understand, you need to consume content in some shape or form. Content that's like not too impossible for you to understand, because I think that can be demotivating if the person is like, it's different from you and me, I think, like, or for other polyglots or hyper polyglots, we are already used to the feeling of like not understanding. It's not going to impact us that much. You're not going to watch the thing and say, oh, I'll give up, it's too hard. Like it's, but for most people, what's going to happen is they're going to watch a movie and they're going to be like, oh, shoot, I don't understand anything. I'm going to be frustrated and say, I'm not built for this. So I think it's important to watch something that you can, there's at least basic. For example, you're learning how to introduce yourself and these basic things I mentioned. Maybe a video about self-introduction would be nice. Like two people talking, a dialogue about introduction. They're like, hey, hello, my name is, oh, what's your name? Oh, what do you do? Like small talk.
And what I wanted to add to this, because this is very, very important, guys. So when what he meant also by dialogue, I mean, is you have to have two things, and Krashen talks about it. Two things that are like essential for language learning. For example, if we start to speak Spanish, but we don't give you the context, it might be very tough for you to understand. Whereas if I just say it in French, je bois du café, c'est très bon, you'll just like assume, like you understand what I meant, right? So you need context. And what I did here is that I had a smile. So the second thing you need is emotions. This is very, 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 very important. When you learn languages, you need to have context and emotion as much as possible. So just don't listen to random stuff about politics that you don't understand, that have no context. You need a context. This is what we do with our school, is that when we created some stories, and we always say the first, we talk about the story and we explain them the story in French, so they get the context, and then there are emotions within the story. I think this is very, very important, right? What do you think? You agree to this? Like that context and emotions are essential for language learning?
100%. Like you're right. That's the language acquisition.
Yep.
Kind of method for real. Because like we said before, like I said before about being open to the thing. Like we underestimate not only, I think, our level in the language, but I think also our brains and how adaptive we are. Like you said, like sometimes you know zero, like let's say you know zero of the language, but just what you did with the French thing, like je bois un café, je bois du café, c'est très bon. What you're saying is like people can see that and they can like guess, because like honestly, like, I keep thinking about this language learning is like guessing. For learning, you're guessing, bro, because like you're not gonna know all the words. Actually, when we have a conversation, we're guessing. It's just that we did it so many times that we know what the person is saying. Like, because these are just like words, random sounds. But that this combination of the sounds, the context, everything, it's like, it's what makes us understand. And it's the same in a foreign language. Like you did, like you're going to see the context, you're going to see the emotion, you're going to associate things, and you're going to understand, even if you don't know the words. And then your job is to like make sure you know these words after you learn them, especially if they repeat themselves a lot. It's really important to really pay attention to that, right? Like, okay, you got the context, and what was it that you didn't understand? Is it important to like learn that? So it's like it's perfect.
Yeah, yeah. And I would also add that when you do this, you should actively take notes. This is again, go watch the 11. I said it like 3 times. Go watch it if it's not done yet after a podcast. Go watch this video. Like I literally sit on my chair and listen to content and take notes about. I'm not taking notes and I'm not translating. This is very important. I'm not translating what I hear. This is the most common mistake that people do. They like literally take a word and then translate it to another language, to their native language. But this is mathematics, right? It's like coffee equal café, drink equal boire, right? Your brain doesn't like this. So you should actively take notes, not only about the vocab, but also about the patterns that you hear. Oh, here there is a S, right? For example, in in Spanish, like comes, okay, comes, como, okay. So when it's tú, there is a S, and you start to understand the structure of the language, and you should take notes of this. Not only the vocab. This is some that's a common mistake that people make. Like they just take notes about the vocab, but you should take notes about what you hear, what you see, about the structure, about maybe anything, right? Like it's not just vocabulary. This is at the immersion. I saw this with one student. Her notes were like literally just vocab, like a list with equal, 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 equal. And when you read this, your brain doesn't even want to, like, oh fuck, you don't want to do it. You'd rather do something else. So yeah, I think for the first phase we actually summarize it. Like you just listen to kind of with context, emotion as much as possible, podcast dialogues. You take notes, and you do this. In my opinion, what do you think? Because for me to move from step 1 to step 2, there's no time limit. In my opinion, it's like as soon as you feel ready. Again, as you said, don't wait 9 months, but there's no, like, don't go to the extremes, or both, like, don't start in 2 hours, but don't wait 9 months. It's like as soon as you feel ready, because Stephen Krashen talks about it as well. There are 3 filters that actually stop you from speaking, from absorbing the language as well. It's motivation, self-esteem, and anxiety. And if you have too much anxiety and lower self-esteem, you can't absorb the language and you can't speak. So wait a bit so that your anxiety goes down, your self-esteem goes up, and you stay motivated. This is just perfect, right? Like, so wait, don't wait the perfect time, but as soon as you feel ready, you're like, all right, I absorbed a lot of language, I can speak. Now, second phase, what do you think? What is the best tips we can give them so that they're not stuck on step 2? Like they understand because they absorbed a lot of language. They understand, but they can't speak. What should they do?
No, it's crazy. For this one, I think I would love to come up with something like incredible, reinvent the wheel right now, and just like say a quote that's gonna be forever on the internet. But honestly, I think like you have to speak regularly.
Exactly.
Bro, it's just like, so I know, but you know what's funny? Bro, I did this. Like we've done this with Italian. Like what I used to have these weekly like meetings to talk in Italian in conversations, like really with people, like group online. We would meet every week and like speak. Bro, my Italian improved so much, bro, because I was just consuming content before. I was just like in the stage of understanding and not speaking. And like, especially if you like, in my case, it was a faster process because I know Portuguese, my native language. I knew Spanish, so this helps
100%.
But even if you were not, like, if you can understand, like, let's say, well, if you can understand content, like you watch a video, you can understand it, it's time to speak, and you have to like do it regularly. But you also have to be strategic, not just speak about whatever, right? Make sure that you're talking about, like, for example, bro, you need to talk about your routine, right? Like, for example, like in any language, bro, you're gonna have to talk about like what you do, like where you go, like this is your routine, like just an example, right? It's like, so that's something you should be talking about, man. so like talk about your routine, talk about what you did yesterday, in future, like try to be strategic about it. Make sure you're speaking about stuff that you're gonna use and you're reviewing it. Because if you speak like the book thing again, like if you speak about whatever,
Yeah.
like I said, politics. Like the topic of the thing is politics,
Exactly.
and you're just like starting out. What the hell? Like, doesn't make any sense, right? So I think like really talking about things that are gonna happen a lot in your life, like really relevant topics, grammar, all these things. I think it's a great way like to improve and go to the next level.
Yep. And I would add as well that if you're a doctor and let's say you learn English for professional reasons, learn medical stuff. You're not gonna learn like a random logistic or law stuff, right? If you're a lawyer, then in that case, learn law vocabulary. If you're a football player, don't learn freaking like plants or you know, like it just makes sense as you said. So 2080, like parallel law. And I will also add that this is very important, and you as a coach as well. And I was a coach, and well, do I still consider myself as a coach? I don't know. Whatever, it's not the point. I think that this is very, very important, and a lot of teachers, even if you're a teacher watching this, reconsider your entire learning process, teaching process. Do not correct people. Like, you shouldn't be corrected. What I mean, not straight away. The feedback should come at the end. I have an amazing story. I said this on my YouTube channel in French already. I was a football coach before. I mean, for 1 year, it was for kids. I was like 18 years old. From my 18 years old till my 19th, I was a football coach for a small young team in Switzerland. There were like 12 or 13. Best example ever. We're like just training, right? They're like training. Those are kids. This is very important. Kids, 12 years old, 13 years old. They're training. We're like played a little. They were just like 5 against 5, passing each other and stuff like this. It was like 30 minutes. Most coaches, what they do is that when the kids make a mistake, they like whistle and they stop. Like, stop. John, why are you doing like this? Pass like this. It shouldn't be like this. Every 5 minutes. Why is it not good? Because you literally stop the kids playing football. So then, after you gave them this feedback, after those 5 minutes, they'll just overthink the next 5 minutes, the next phase. Let's say you have 30 minutes, so they have 6 phases. The next phase, they will just overthink. You have to start again, so you're tired and you rest. No, you're not in the flow anymore. And it's the same with languages. If you have a 30-minute conversation and someone stops you every 5 minutes, then at the end you didn't speak a lot, right? So the best thing to do is to speak non-stop for 30 minutes straight without having any corrections at all, and then the coach gives you the correction. What do you think about this? Because it's actually what we apply at Library as well.
100%. I agree. I think you mentioned football.
Yeah.
And I was also watching a video with a coach telling, I think it was a defensive midfielder. He was telling a defensive midfielder that he has to pass, like make an attacking pass, like a forward pass. And not just like a side, like an easy one to the side. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of the ball here. I'm just going to...
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using this example because like both things, like you said, in football, you have to take a risk. You have to do something that's going to make you progress in the field and like in languages, right? So you have to have confidence to do that. In order to be able to risk yourself and to speak, you have to have confidence. And like you said, stopping the person to give feedback all the time kills their confidence.
100%.
Even if they don't notice, even if you don't notice, but
exactly,
it's killing their confidence. Like they're not able to like try anymore, like to guess and to take the risk of trying the thing.
What if? Exactly.
I agree 100%.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. It's really true, man. It kills your confidence. You overthink. You're not in the flow anymore. And you have less. Also, you have less training. Like if you think about math, if you have a 30-minute conversation and you speak for 30 minutes nonstop, like the teacher is going to ask you a couple of questions. So maybe you speak 28 minutes. If you just think about, like, let's say it's required to speak 100 hours to get fluent, let's say, right? Well, in the second case, you get 28 minutes of speaking. In the first case, in the first scenario, you get maybe 10 minutes. So you need 2 times more classes to become fluent, right? It's crazy. They also Krashen talks about it in this book. They did a study where there's like German kids learning English, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's German kids learning English. One is learning the traditional way, like English classes and so on and so forth. To become conversational, they got 150 hours of classes. Second group, they're learning, so 150 hours to get conversational, right? The second group, they're learning English, but with mathematics, geography, history, whatever, you name it, all the subjects in school, but in English. So they're not learning English, but they're consuming English. Do you know how much time they took? It's in Krashen's book. Do you know how much time it took to get conversational? Guess?
So you need 100.
150, the first, like traditional way, like grammar, verbs, vocabulary. So no, and the second one was not having English classes, but just literally math, history, all that stuff in English.
I'd say 65 hours.
32.
Damn.
32 hours. So they compared both groups, and the second one learned 4.8 times. I think it's 4.8 or 5. Let's round it up, like 5 hours. Five times faster. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. So yeah, because they were not corrected. They just consume content. They start to speak naturally without having all those words, those vocab, and you overthink, right? I think we're maybe. How much time left do we have? Like 5 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we will do phase 3. Phase 3. So again, first phase. You don't understand, you don't speak. Just listen as much as possible, take notes, consume content, dialogues, context, emotion. You get this, right? Sorry? Oh, all right. Second phase, you understand, but you don't speak. Speak as much as possible. Don't get corrected. Go there, right? Go there. Just go to the jungle. Speak as much as possible. Don't get corrected. Get this output, right? Third phase, you speak. So you're able to have conversations. You understand people. What should they do?
Interesting. I think you're gonna have to learn more vocabulary. That's one, like more vocabulary and improve your grammar. I say this because now that you are on the stage of like you're good at like you understand content, you can speak, so you can communicate.
Yep.
That's what I did with English, for example. That's when I went like to really learn, like improve my grammar and my vocabulary. Now is the time for you to really go deep in those things, because like you're gonna learn new words, and it's gonna help you communicate better, express yourself better. Because I'm sure you should have a list of words or verb tenses that you haven't mastered yet, that you don't know. Because during these moments of conversation and dialogue, you'll see that there are situations that are tricky for you. Like, for example, okay, I'm good, but like, let's say English. I know how to speak in the past, present, and future. I'm good. I can communicate. I'm good. But present perfect is the thing that, like, when I have to talk, tell that difference between those two, simple past, present perfect, I'm not very sure. So there's the time. Or the conditionals, for example. I'm very good, but like I can't really use conditionals. I made a lot of mistakes with that. So I think it's time for me to revisit that, or really learn that for real, because you've seen it at this point. But have you like really learned it? So that was the time. And also take vocabulary. Because you need to like learn more words. Like you should be doing this every day anyways, but I feel like after you get to a good, comfortable level that you can understand and speak, you need to improve so you can have more control over the language, more mastery. That mastery comes, I think, with like a better grasp of the grammar. And I also think knowing, just like math now, like words.
Yep.
Because like you need to know important word. Now we're out of stage 1 where we're like learning basic stuff.
Yep.
You're gonna have to learn more specific things, and I'm not talking about this part of the thing. I'm talking about like words, for example, conjunctions, like, or expressions, or slang.
Yep.
Like more like natural, to sound more like a native. You know, I know it's not like we don't want to be like change our accent completely and become a native speaker.
Yep.
And I don't think that's not everybody's goals. If it is, like, go for it.
Go ahead, bro.
Go for it. So like, but really like learning more in-depth stuff. Like you're gonna understand the references. You're
Mhm.
gonna start like going really deep
Yep.
and playing with the language a little more. You know, you can only get there if you learn those expressions, I think.
I agree, man. I couldn't agree more. My favorite sentence. And I think we didn't really talk about pronunciation, but in my opinion, well, the thing is, um, on my side, I did it on the third phase because I didn't learn because we all learned English in school. Well, like I guess like 95% of the people that are watching this video will learn English in school. So this is why pronunciation comes after. And in my opinion, pronunciation should come in the very beginning because when you don't really realize, but you're actually learning pronunciation while listening and while speaking. Well, most of it while speaking, but it's also very, very important to learn pronunciation in step 3. In addition to what you said, exactly, I 100% agreement. Like you should learn at this point grammar, verbs, expressions. Like you know the basics, but now do you want to go the extra mile? And some people don't, right? We know a lot of people that just have a A2 level in all the languages, right? Because they just want to, right? And I think pronunciation, a lot of people get this so wrong. They think that pronunciation is just to sound like, let's take English, for example. Oh, but I hear this all the time. Oh, but Luke, I don't want to improve my pronunciation. I don't want to sound like an American man. I just want to keep my French accent. I'm like, what? It's not. Pronunciation is not about speaking. It's also about understanding people better. Because when you improve your pronunciation, you understand the different sounds. Like for example, in most of French speakers say it is good, but it is, right, in American English. So if you know that it is it is because of the flap T and so on and so forth, then you're like, all right, now I understand when XYZ American says it is. So pronunciation is very important as well to understand even more. And yeah, just to sound, I wouldn't say more American or more Brazilian or whatever, but just meant to, I think it's nice to have a nice pronunciation in the language you speak,
100%.
right?
100%.
So I'll take this grammar, more expressions, more slangs, and pronunciation.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think also like we need to differentiate accent from pronunciation because like,
Wow, good one.
right? That's super important. Like, because for example, you mentioned the French like accent. Like if you have a little bit of a French accent, it's totally fine, right? I think in most cases. But the thing is, if instead of saying like happy, you're saying happy,
Hmm.
this is gonna be a problem,
Mm.
right? So then is not like this is not just accent, guys. You're saying the word happy in like in French.
Yep.
You're not pronouncing the H correctly. There's a lack of the wrong pronunciation. So I think that we really need to differentiate that. And I think, guys, honestly, that's my opinion now. I think you should try to copy native speakers.
Yep. 100%.
I don't care, like everybody. That's my opinion, okay? I'm not saying like I know everything. I know it all, Mr. Know It All. No, just my opinion is that you should copy native speakers because like
You must.
you
Vamos.
must. But honestly, like if you want to sound like you want to speak that language, correct? Like right, the person who speaks that language is a native speaker,
Exactly.
right? Like it's the thing. I know that other people can speak it really well, but you have to imitate, guys. Like you have to do shadowing. Like
Yeah.
if you want to improve your pronunciation, you have to do that. And like you said, you have to understand in order to understand. It's also very important. I just want to mention bounce back. On something. I want to bounce back on something that's that I think is really interesting. Is that like I think my clients, my students who learned the most in a record time are the ones who are like more active in their learning.
Damn.
They're like writing. Like I had one client, man. I had one student, like name is Adrian.
Shout
I
out to
learned
Adrian.
Portuguese. Shout out to Adrian. He's a producer, by the way, music producer.
All right.
Big guy, yeah, from America. He was learning Portuguese with me.
Damn.
This guy, I mean, like he was like, bro, like every time I would like, we started a lesson and he would like ask me these very specific and good questions. Like, okay, so if I say like guessing, like that we're talking about. So he was like, if I say this, can I use it this way? And I would explain it to him. And then he would like make his own examples all the time, like, because we know how we learn. Or if you don't know how you learn, guys, you have to learn how you learn, bro. Like you have to figure out if you're an auditory learner, if you're a visual learner, if you're a kinesthetic learner. Like you have to learn these things. If you don't know these terms, like Google right now, like auditory,
Yep.
visual, like kinesthetic.
And maybe like Richard, like you love traditional classes, so maybe you should do this.
Maybe.
I mean,
You have to figure yourself
there's
out.
so many methods.
You have to figure yourself out. He figured himself out. That's why he learned so fast. And
Yep.
now he speaks like conversational Portuguese, good Portuguese actually.
Yeah.
He learned so fast. But because he was like, okay, I know he knows that I need like the logic behind stuff. So he just would make his examples and explain like, okay, this is because of that. And put it there. He's doing it himself. Like,
Yep.
it's not me giving him this.
Yep.
Because even though I know him, he knows himself better than I know him. So he's like doing that and also trying. Like, again, being open to how fast can I learn this thing? Like, if I actually tried, like, you never really use your full potential. That's the thing in your brain. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like the movie Limitless, like that movie with Bradley Cooper. It's a movie that
I haven't watched it.
he doesn't watch
I haven't
movies.
watched
The guy's like, there's a drug that the guy takes that makes him use like his brain to the full potential, basically.
Mm,
So like, and it's funny because in this movie he speaks several languages too. He becomes a polyglot.
really?
He
Damn.
learns Chinese really fast. That's so funny. But like, guys, you don't need a drug. You don't need a pill for that. By the way, that's my only attack to this movie is this. Like,
Yeah.
they say like in order to learn Chinese, you need to take a pill.
All right.
No, come on. But like, it's true that like guys, like we limit ourselves. Like, it's so crazy. Like we think, okay, I'm not good for languages. Oh, at school, bro, it's crazy. I think Luca Lampariello wasn't good at languages at school, if I'm not mistaken. There was someone, I think he was not. There, I don't remember exactly, but actually a lot of cases like this, bro.
Let us know, Luca, in the comments.
Steve Kaufman, there you go. Like, one, I'm sure.
Okay.
Like that he said he was not like, wow, the language guy. Woohoo.
Wow.
Like, he learned after his older age the several languages.
Crazy. Yeah, and he's like what, like 65 or something?
Yeah, or is he older now?
Even older. Like
Yeah.
I think he's like 70 or something.
Yeah, now he's probably 70.
Man, you know, like I was good with languages at school.
Yeah.
But I didn't speak.
Mm.
I had good grades, bro.
Ah.
Because I was learning. Dude, I was literally, I was a good learner because I was not good, but I worked so hard and I just learned everything by heart. So in languages, I was good because I just had to, I was like, in math, it was like problem and shit, so I was not good. And other subjects, I was not good because it required like thinking and stuff. But languages, how it's taught at school, it's like, take this list, learn by heart. I was like, all right, let's do it. It's easy. I just have to literally sit 3 hours and learn it by heart, and I'll get good grades. It was literally like this, man. So I was really good at languages. I had good grades in German, but I couldn't speak. You know? So I agree to Steve Kaufman and to Luca. It's it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Don't limit yourselves, guys. Like,
Yeah.
limit yourselves. Just like try and
Yep.
like the sky's the limit, really. Like when it comes to that thing, like we don't know, or like you don't know your ceiling, don't know like where your limit is. So like, why would you limit yourself and say, no, I'm just gonna learn 1 word per day, or something like I'm just gonna take this one Duolingo lesson per day? Why would like
Yep.
you can do like so much. Like if you're consuming content, trying to guess, trying your own stuff, making your own examples, speaking to yourself, like really trying and like really, because I think also like honestly, I think like now it's gonna maybe a little random, but I think like technology and modern societies,
Oh, okay, sorry. Guys, we're running out of time.
I should like
We-
wrap
Like, yeah, like 20 seconds just to, yeah, sorry. Sorry, guys, we're speaking way too much. Just to conclude, I think we can like, also, I just wanted to give a shout out to our students because as you said, I think like sky's the limits. And, you know, we have Bridget, 70 years old. She's learning English. We have Aurélien. He's a doctor. He's on 24-hour shifts, and this guy just learned English in a matter of weeks. We have so many students. Maybe we're gonna forget them, but guys, thank you. Thanks a lot to all those students who are gonna watch this video. Thank you to the entire team, and yeah, follow for more. We're gonna have some links in the descriptions if you wanna learn some languages. If you want to learn languages, any language from scratch, there's going to be a link in the description. If you want to become a teacher, there's going to be a link in the description if you want to build your own thing. And if you want to learn English, well, you're going to see in the description, there's going to be a lot of links. Just choose the right for you, or just follow the channel for the next upcoming videos. And we're also going to put Sam's Instagram or YouTube channel.
yeah,
on
I think Polyglot Sam, everything.
Polyglot Sam.
Yeah.
The link in the description. And we'll see you guys in the next video. It was awesome. Let's go. Bye-bye.